is, we have a motion, and we don't need a second. Barb will take any questions or discussion, and then I'll call for a vote, okay?
Let's take a half a second to pray. Lord, you have entrusted this church building and heart in all of us to do your work. We're looking ahead to 2025 and all the possibilities. Help us to keep open hearts and open minds, that we are good stewards of the money and the gifts you have given us. Amen. All right, so the budget that you have in front of you is for over a $300,000 budget. It is almost a 6% budget increase over this current year. And part of this is based on our trends in comparing our income and expenses to the 2024 as we move into 2025. And as Ann said, the Stewardship and Finance Committee takes your pledges, puts this all together, looks at what we've got, and puts together the budget. So I'm going to open the floor for questions that you have around the budget. Mark's going to man Mike for us.
I have trouble focusing on all these figures. Could you tell me where I can see how much income we get from this parsonage?
Okay, at the very top, down, it's in the top section under income. Parsonage, we have $44,100 is coming from parsonage.
Parsonage.
And
okay.
that's all the rent we take in from our renters that we have there. Farther down under the expense section, you're going to see a line item for parsonage expenses, because like just recently we had to have an pest control come in because they had a problem with ants. There's also a line under expenses. We pay a percentage to our property management company, so that falls under expenses.
Okay, thank you.
Because there's a lot of things that go into our income, and in addition to pledges, parsonage is a big one. Charlie Brown gives a donation for the use of our facility of $1,100 a month, so that comes towards us. Our AA groups, they contribute for the use of the room downstairs, and I think we've got, 7, 8 groups that meet on a regular basis downstairs. Then that comes towards our income. What other questions do you have?
I'm sorry.
Barb, when you reported on the pledges previously, you said we had quite a gap between the pledge count and where our projected budget was. Will you explain what happened?
Sure.
I mean, how in fact you closed
Yeah.
we as a congregation closed this gap?
Okay. When we put the budget together, we do all the expenses. We figure out exactly what we need. Then we go back to the top, because just like you do at home, you figure out what you need to spend, and then you look at what you got coming in to see if you're going to meet those expenses. So then we go to the income part, or the top part of the budget, based on the parsonage and Charlie Brown and things like that. Whatever we have left, we look for, that's for our pledges to fill what we're going to do. So when we were putting our pledges together, we found we were a little short between our pledge and all the other incomes we have and to hit our expenses. So there is a highlighted yellow column on there, or yellow row on there, up in the income part. It's a transfer from 2024. And what this is, we wanted to present a balanced budget. That's what we have always done. And so we looked at what we're looking at for 2024, our income versus expenses. And when we were working on this, this has October numbers, we were about $34,000 ahead of income coming versus our expenses. We're getting to the end of the year and people are spending what they've got it budgeted. So I just looked at the November numbers and we're still about $20,000 our income ahead of expenses. So Stewardship and Finance thought that we could carry over some of that money that we're going to be a little ahead this year to help balance the budget. So we used $4,194 to help balance this budget. That help? That answer your question?
Another question?
His mic's not on.
hold on.
Okay. Are you there?
I'm right here. I'm ready for you, Ron. Give it to me.
I just had a quick question. Is there a special reason that we're having a special meeting to approve the budget? Why isn't it like the normal
Reports?
procedure where we approve it during the annual meeting?
Well, the reason we've pulled it out of the annual meeting is the annual meeting is until the first week in February. Do I not pay anything in the month of January because I have no budget? So last year, I took a look at that. It's like I'm paying things when technically I have no budget to work with. So last year we backed up our budget time now, so we're set, ready to the new year. The other thing we do is based on our income, we put 2 months operating reserves aside. If by chance we have expenses, which we've never haven't had a problem in a very long time doing that we can set that money aside as well. Also, collect raises for our staff, and if what was happening in the past, the staff was not getting their raises in January because of the approved budget. As soon as the budget was approved, then we would have to retro. This is done, shortens the congregational. Good question, Ron. Thank you. Any other questions? Beautiful. Ariane, I'm going to put it back over to you. At any point in time, if you want interpreting the numbers, you have a ministry and how much you've got budgeted. We also have dedicated monies that aren't reflected on here. So when you give to El Nido or Crisis House, Uptown, that money is kept separately because it's dedicated monies to use towards those organizations, so they're not reflected on there. It's all yours.
Is Barbara not a gift? She's a gift. Thank you so much, Barbara.
I've been blessed.
She also sings tenor. All right. Okay. As I understand it, all I need to do is ask you for a vote. All in favor, say aye to the budget. Or aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the budget has been accepted. Thank you very much. And now you can go and have some coffee.
Thank you.
Don't forget the gift for the, okay, thanks.